Our good friend Uncle Joe has just pledged earlier today to spend 60 billion more of your taxpayer dollars. Isn't it great? Money just practically grows on trees, right? Well, at least in a Democrat's world, right? Just tax and spend, even though the rest of the economy is fucking flatlining and the stock market is on the verge of a full-on fucking collapse. And don't worry though, Joe knows the problem and he's gonna point it out here. But we need to figure out what exactly this new $60 billion in new spending is going to be used for. And guess what it's not being used for? Anything productive. Most of it's not even going to stay within the borders of the United States. Democrats on Tuesday are aiming to spend 60 billion more taxpayer dollars during 40-year high inflation. Yeah, they don't care about that. It'll eventually get figured out by somebody. That's for the next administration to figure out. Democrats plan to spend a massive amount of money after spending wildly in 2021. Last year's spending included $1.9 trillion coronavirus package and a $1 trillion infrastructure package, which many economists say fueled 40-year high inflation in the same year. No, what is it? The Moody financial group went over Joe Biden's economic plan, and it was going to make more jobs than Trump's plan, and it was going to make the economy overall just so much better than Trump's plan. How's that working out? Yeah, no, exactly. A few center-left economists, as well as Senator Joe Manchin, sounded the alarm after the oversized new injection of spending would overheat a growing economy and cause inflation. Overheat a growing economy. What markers are you using to indicate that? Reason reported. Ugh, I feel like pissing in my own mouth. That fucking libertarian rag. It says libertarian as the Lincoln Project is Republican. They were ignored, if not mocked. As a result, almost everyone in the Fed, from the Fed chairman to monetary experts, spent most of 2021 explaining away inflation without mention of the roles played by fiscal and monetary policies. Nearly 1 year later, on May of 2022, Democrats once again are planning to spend massive sums of taxpayer dollars. And here's the breakdown. Democrats took a splash, nearly $40 billion, to protect Ukraine's borders from invasion. That's good. You can normally spend well beyond your means, okay? Especially for border security, especially considering all four of the United States borders are just well protected at all times, and not one of them is facing a consistent wave of illegal immigrants. No, of course not. Border security only matters in Eastern Europe. Democrats are additionally aiming to spend about $20 billion for more coronavirus funding. That seems more necessary than it ever has, right? When was the last time we even heard about a new fucking variant or anything like that? When was the last time we even heard from Fauci? I'm sure he's probably still banging on a couple of doors outside the CNN. Shocked that they haven't picked him up because, hey, if he's at least paying attention, that means that they have one more viewer than they normally would. But yeah, $40 billion. 2/3 of the $60 billion fucking spending is heading off to the Ukraine to, I don't know, fund what exactly? When was the last time anybody gave a fuck about that invasion, right? Well, we can kind of figure it out, 4 weeks ago when the Johnny Depp Amber Heard stuff started. And then after, the Roe v. Wade leak came out, and then everybody just stopped caring about Ukraine all that time ago. But Zelensky's still sending out, just like Fauci's knocking on doors, Zelensky's still sending out his video messages, but nobody cares about that anymore. We got abortion to worry about because it's practically illegal anywhere, and you gotta, hey, carry that kid to term. It doesn't much matter. But here's a summary of the spending plan. Congress is going to move forward quickly on a nearly $40 billion aid package for Ukraine. Why? The proposal is $6.8 billion above the White House's $33 billion request. It provides $3.4 billion more than the Biden administration sought for military aid. And of course, there are so many war hawks in the Republican caucus that they'd be more than willing. Oh, what? War, missiles, industrial, military complex. We can spend more money that way? That would be terrific. It provides, provides another $3.4 billion in additional humanitarian aids. House and the Senate appropriators spent the last week privately negotiating the proposal. House Democrat leaders, including Speaker Nancy Pelosi, it was this before or after 2-drink afternoon, have pushed for nearly $20 billion in additional Coof funding. In line with what the White House said it needs. Why exactly? Just get on with it. Senate had been considering a pared back package worth roughly $10 billion. Oh, okay. Because again, that's super necessary, ultra necessary, in fact. What are you spending $10 billion on, by the way? It doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm looking outside and does it really matter? It doesn't matter anymore. I'm sure Canada's probably doing similar dumb shit as well. Spending my great-grandkids' fucking tax contributions. By the time that they come of age, they'll probably just be working for the government because it'll be a fully fucking communist society. I'm getting the fuck out. The spending comes before the midterm elections. Democrats are attempting to make the election about abortion, but many voters are not buying the sales pitch. Is the economy and jobs, Laura Wilson told Reuters on Monday about the precedents. The economy takes over abortion. Yeah, that's the thing that the people who would at least turn out for the midterm elections care about. Okay, because let's break this down. Okay, the midterm elections are mostly a turnout of older conservative voters as compared to the general election, which has a bigger swath of the population because, yeah, it's got the big ticket, it's got the main event on it, right? So you get more Democratic voters, you get younger voter turnout for the midterms, for the off-year votes, okay? You get a certain subsection. They might care more about the economy, right? But the Democrats, they might be evil, they might be conniving, but their leadership isn't retarded, okay? Biden's handlers aren't retarded. The man himself is a little bit fucking loose with reality, but there's an understanding that they need to push social issues, and if Republicans are dumb enough to fucking take the bait and then just rely on the news of the day to carry the elections, which I think they're dumb enough to do, they could end up fucking stymieing any of their substantial gains that are right there on the fucking table. All you need to do is just rehash the past year and a half when the elections come up, okay? And you will walk to a fucking historic victory. But if you get drugged down into the mud by caring about a niche issue for some of the fucking Democrat cities, it's a losing proposition. Just focus on the inflation problems. How everyday goods have gone through the roof when it comes to cost. Gas prices, okay? Just a couple of years ago, you were filling up your tank on your vehicle for what, the $40, $50, and now it's $100, $120? We'll see though. But like I said before, Joe Biden, he knows exactly what's causing all of this inflation. It's not the rampant spending or anything like that. It's Orange Man, once again in his ULTRA MAGA movement. I thought that was like one of those patented Biden gaffes, or just a misspoken phrase. I didn't think he was stupid enough to try to make this stick. It's not catchy, it's not going to happen, and you just look like as out of touch as your hair implanter is. Biden blames everything but himself for new inflation and speech offering no new solutions. Yep, no. Where's you gonna spend more of your money? Don't worry about it because it's not my fault. My policies are working. There's the previous guy who's a record-setting economy. That was a problem. President Joe Biden delivered another speech at the White House about inflation on Tuesday, blaming everyone but himself for skyrocketing prices. Now, the president refused to take responsibility for inflation, arguing his trillions in dollars and government spending in 2021 were only trying to help people. Yep. No, of course, he's a good man. He's just looking after the health and the security of every single American. That's why he's making it, more costly to survive, okay? He's trying to help everybody with their budgetary concerns. I think our policies help, not hurt. Well, you can think that all you want. It's just not boring out well in reality. And he said to reporters when he was asked if he accepted responsibility for the problems, "No. The vast majority of economists think, listen to the experts. They don't lie to you. They don't change their opinions all the time. I think this is going to be a real tough problem to solve, but it's not because of spending." Is it because 40% of all the currency in the United States was printed over the past 18 months? You think that has something to do with it? The president spoke as gasoline and diesel prices hit a new record high in the United States. When asked what he thought about Americans continuing to blame him for higher prices, Biden acknowledged the Democrat Party was in power in all three branches of government, but said inflation is really complicated. Oh yes, it is. When you spend more money than you can bring in, okay? Or that your children or your kids would be able to fucking bring in. That creates quite an economic problem. Right now, it's confusing. He says every morning when he wakes up, there's a war in Ukraine and they're scratching their heads. What does that have to do with the United States? Biden said about the American people. What? There's a war in Ukraine and they're scratching their heads. He said for the American people. Right. Okay. Most people, the vast majority of Americans, are hoping that their government just takes care of the problem and they don't have to think about it in detail at the kitchen table. But those days of believing that the government are actually here to help, those are long gone, and you were mostly responsible. You were at least a part of the administration that helped kill any sort of belief that maybe the government have a vested interest in the betterment of Americans' lives. Remember when you guys ran on a platform of hope and change and delivered absolutely none of that? That's for you to bear. But no, it was probably Bush's fault or Trump's fault, whatever you want to say. Biden said the average person did not understand why inflation was happening. Is he just trying to, project his own insecurities and lack of understanding? Because that would make sense. Was happening and tried to signal he understood their concerns. Look, I know you gotta be frustrated. I know. I can taste. You can taste it? Oh my fucking god. Just shuffle granddad onto the fucking porch and just put a little blanket over his lap and then just let him sit in his rocking chair and play with Legos and make sure they're the big Mega Bloks ones so he doesn't fucking swallow them and kill himself. Biden blamed Russian President Vladimir Putin. Oh my god. The coronavirus pandemic. Again, that's still going on. The big corporations for inflation. Oh, the big corporations that you consult with when it comes to all of your moves, okay? The big corporations that you take their fucking C-suite executives and you bring them directly into your administration. Those big companies? Okay. For inflation and berated ULTRA MAGA. What is that? Is that a transformer I'm not aware of? For blocking his agenda. You have a majority in every branch. You don't get it. You don't get it. President mistakenly said Senator Rick Scott was from Wisconsin. Oh my god. Does he mean Chuck Grassley? Oh my god. Said the senator has a problem and told about Scott's called for him to resign. Resign? That's a good idea. Biden's replied sarcastically. Damn it, why did it have to be sarcastically? Well, it's not like Kamala would be, actually any different. He also insisted inflation was his top domestic priority. Yeah, but unfortunately, his foreign concerns are like 1, 2, 3, and whatever else it needs to be on top of, anything domestically. Because remember, I'm going to run as a proud Democrat, but I'm going to be I'm going to be a president for all American citizens. That's why your big concern is Ukraine right now, right? And sending $40 billion over there. That's terrific. He's a good man, and 81 million people got exactly what they voted for. And it's definitely 81 million people, and there's no concerns about that at all whatsoever. Nope, none whatsoever. Of course not. Couldn't possibly be the case whatsoever that Dinesh D'Souza just put out a new documentary, and it has nothing undermining that count at all whatsoever. Nope, nothing. Nope, couldn't possibly be the case. Can't talk about it in any more detail on YouTube because it's the fun place where all the truth happens. Anyways, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.